Yeah, you said morning.
It's morning somewhere. To the international viewers
It's
watching,
morning in America.
don't be a coconut, Stephen. So we do have a couple of drivers that have joined us, and unfortunately a few that we have lost due to some disconnections. The format for this evening, if you haven't raced with us before, is a 5x5, which means it is 5 cars, 5 tracks, 5 different cars that is. We then have a 5-lap race with a 5-minute qualifying, and we get to change the cars and tracks as we go, hence 5x5. The rules are simple. The damage is off, but try not hit your fellow racers off, because that is unfortunately frowned upon. If you do go for a bit of a dive and you knock a driver, just be patient enough, give that position back, and everybody can race nicely. We'll enjoy tonight's event.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, let's wait.
That's fantastic. So get your thumbs up, because the format for this evening, as you can see, round number 1. I can actually get this up on screen. Round number 1, we head to Alton Park, the fastest track in the Caterham. Track number 2 will be in the McLaren P1 around Snetterton 200. We then hit Donington Park National with the Ginetta GT4. The Bentley, I see that I didn't put the track in there, but it's actually Brands House GP. And then we'll finish off in the Ginetta LMP3 at Silverstone GP.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Now that those are up, let's go racing.
Terry just disconnected.
Memo and Terry just disconnected.
Yeah, see, it looks like that Donovan disconnected. And
yeah, he probably pulled them out. Yeah.
Let's just
okay, Memo's back.
Couple of seconds to get back.
Okay, he's back. It's good. Donovan, clashing with Donovan.
Clashing with
Okay,
Donovan.
there comes Terry.
Yeah, Donovan.
Someone clashing with Donovan.
Yeah,
Donovan.
me.
TER and clashing with him as well.
Okay, Terry,
you
just go
finish.
out and come back in.
Go out and come back in.
Yeah, please, you're just clashing with Theo. We just want to make sure that we start good.
No, we're clashing, no, we're clashing.
Okay,
Wait, don't go.
Good.
Okay, we're good now.
Please don't go.
Yeah, what had happened was when Donovan clashed, he kicked yourself, Memo, out. So
Okay.
let's
Okay,
go.
cool.
Let's go.
Okay,
All right.
tot ziens.
So racing boys.
On my way to the chat party now, Jacques.
That's right.
Right, guys, so we are just waiting for the loading screen, and in the commentary box I have my all-time favorite commentator, Mal Jacques. How are you doing this evening?
Alright, and you, Dylan?
Very good. Did you enjoy the end of the GT3 series we were running?
Yeah, I must say the last race around Nürburgring was a very interesting one for me.
That's putting it lightly. Yeah, I must say you really had a great race chasing down Jakes, and when you eventually did get past him, that was it. There was no ways he was going to catch you.
Yeah, no, I think it's actually the first track that the Ford was sorted properly, so yeah.
Oh, awesome.
But it's still, the big one is coming Thursday, the big supercars, some serious horsepower, so yeah.
So here we are at Caterham. You see the guys sliding that around.
On screen we have Ephraim,
also known as Jakes, our current GTE winner.
Yeah.
And I see that Morris, he's with us as well. Jakes just managing to put Jakes at the end there. Morris was actually leading on points, but needed to finish 4 points ahead of Jakes for the win there. And unfortunately, Morris wasn't able to convert that.
Yeah, but I feel actually sad for Morris. He put in quite an effort practicing during the weekend. Come race day, he was struggling with the Aston. So yeah, bad luck to him.
Yep, 100%. So guys, if you are on the stream, we do have the comments up, so if you want to just drop us a note, come say how's it, ask any questions if you have them regarding the race. Oh, there goes Carter Boy off. And sometimes I'm not sure whether it's which of the two brothers, whether it's Carl or Scott that's actually racing. But I would believe that this is Carl. And it's nice to see Ellie back. He was racing with us on Project Cars 1, and then when we did the switch over, we unfortunately did lose him due to him going overseas. Some family life stories happening. Or the rear. Will he catch it? Great catch there. That's what we like to see. So definitely some karting skills coming out there. So let's look at the current positions. That is Christopher gone fastest with a 1:02, with Ross just behind him 0.3 seconds, then Jake's 0.9 behind. Carterboy, that's 5 seconds. Gerard is 5 seconds, and Stephen 8 seconds. So there's Morris moving up the order, so he's now posted a time of a 1:03.6.
Oh,
I think he's probably returned to there he is.
There he comes out. I think that cameraman is probably on Barocca or something. He was quite quick.
Yep. He did move a little bit too soon for my liking there. So quite an interesting track this, I do like it. It is very bumpy. Especially now where Morris is going through that sector. You can see that car's jumping over those bumps. Now braking into Drew's corner, turn number 7, double apex, and you kind of turn it in, keep it pinned, and I hope that you come out the end there.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorites really, I will be honest.
So I must say the GTE, all that's a little bit wide. I don't think he'll get away with that. Let's just see if he's improved on his lap time. Yes,
yeah,
he did.
101.
So Marius nearly a second quicker than Christopher. Well, that's wide. That will be a slowdown. I'm pretty sure about that.
Dylan, my mic settings, is it fine?
100%. So guys, if you are on the stream and you can just give us a note, can you hear us clearly? There's no funny crackling in the background there. So it'll be interesting to see whether the likes of Christopher and Jakes can come back and bring this challenge back to Marius. And guys, after each round we will be updating the points so we know who's tracking where in this mini championship.
You can see that front suspension is working around this track.
And the cars are set up on a no setup race, so it's either the loose, and we generally believe that the loose is quicker, or a stable.
Oh, Jake's
getting that very wrong. We have a new
Christopher knocked him down by almost a second again.
Second place. So look at that. That Stephen is in second.
Yeah.
So Christopher finding another second on Morris, and then Stephen goes and puts in a blinder. He finds 0.2. And I see we're down to 11 drivers now. We did start off with 13, so let's see who we've lost.
Couple of DCs.
So I see Terry is no longer with us. And I'm not seeing Brando, so we've lost him as well. So guys, if you are still there, please do stick around. We will be getting you back in for that next race. I see Terry just come onto the live stream now. Go boys. Terry, unfortunately you disconnected there, but don't forget you will come back We'll get you coming back for that next race.
Yeah.
There we see that confirmation. Terry disconnecting, Donovan disconnecting. So we have a lineup of 11 drivers with Ellie at the bottom, then it's Memo, that's, I'm sure it's Carl, then it'll be Theo, Troy, Ross, Jakes, Marius, that is Gerard up in third place, a
Yeah.
great last lunge there for him, Stephen in second place and Christopher in first. I just hope they all listen during our driver's briefing to take it easy because it can get very nasty into turn 1. So we have 11 drivers on. Now we're just waiting for the race to sync all the drivers to ready up, select their desired setup. I won't be needing that now. That's the confirmation we've been looking for.
Yeah, quite a
Also,
start
guys,
there.
very slow off the line.
Marius had a lekker start.
So that's Stephen moving into turn number 1. He's on the inside. He should be able to get in front of Christopher. No one touching. That's really good news. But now they're coming down the hill. Marius will have a look to the inside. Oh, shut there by Stephen.
Yeah,
That's not going to end well there for Christopher. You can see him going straight into the wall. So that puts Christopher down in last place, which means Marius, who was in third place, he is away in first, with Gerard in second, Jakes in third, and we find Troy in fourth place. Through turn number 7, down the little, you can see that little kick, car bouncing all over the place into the last corner, very tricky, you do not want to be running wide here. The time slowdown penalty on that corner is terrible.
that was quite
There's
unfortunate for Stephen and Christopher.
Yep. So there's Stephen getting a place over Troy. I think he had slowed down there for that slowdown penalty. Side by side, Troy and Stephen.
That's
That
not nice.
is Stephen on his roof. Will he get over? Yes, he does. Wow. Stephen in the thick of it. Careful when you join the track, Stephen.
Wow.
What are you doing? So there's Carter Boy having an absolute disaster. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
hitting
That
Stephen.
little
Not what
Lotus.
you want to be seeing. And the 5x5s are supposed to be fun, so we'll go back to the front of the field. Now we have Ross in fourth place. I see Ross got a little red line. Whoa, Morris on the grass. That's going to allow Gerard to close up that gap.
Jake's riding second. Two champions giving each other like a go.
Once again, yes, well, Jake's very tight on the inside there. Would almost have thought that that could have lost the rear, spun him out. But he seems to have controlled it pretty nicely. Well, there's Jake's wide again coming out of, I think that's turn number 4.
Just move
That
here
is
to
correct.
Ross quickly.
Ross starting to close down on Gerard, but you see that little red dot means he's possibly got a 1 or 2 second slowdown.
Ooh, he lost that big time at the back.
Yep, clipping that curb on the outside, not an easy corner that, because as you can see it definitely does tighten up on you. Here comes Theo, ooh, getting that rear a little bit sideways on the brakes into the last corner. So back to race leader Marius.
He pulled quite a gap over Jake's now.
Yeah, he's opened that 1 second gap, nearly 2 seconds now. Jake's possibly going for a slowdown penalty.
Yeah, this cameraman's on this track.
very quickly.
Yeah. Yo.
Jake's very slow there. I would have expected him to have got that power on a lot sooner. You can see he's losing 0.4 of a second just in that one last corner. Well, this is the last lap of this Caterham race.
And I see Christopher is moving up the ranks. So
Christopher up to 4th.
yeah.
So Christopher putting a lot of pressure on the back of Carrot. No, that's actually Ross that's behind
Ross
Christopher.
repassed,
So
yeah.
it's the other way around. It's Ross that's putting pressure on Christopher. Or is that Christopher pulling away? You can see
Yeah, he's pulling away. Yeah, he
Definitely.
passed Ross. Yeah.
definitely changed his induction system there. Going with the free flow over the top of the motor.
They're probably running much cooler as well. So
See, Jakes has caught up a whole second on Morris. I wonder if Morris is just being a little bit cautious, wanting to finish the race.
Marius
And
taking
Morris will
victory.
take the win. It sounded like there was somebody in the pits there.
Yeah.
Let's just
Ellie.
Go down to Carrot. Will Carrot finish in 3rd?
Yeah, he's third. Oh!
That's Ross. Ross with his shenanigans.
Almost fought him and a few clipped each other.
So there's Carrot in 3rd. Christopher will come home in 4th.
Yeah.
Theo a solid 5th.
And our 911 patient, Stephen.
Ross will be in 6th place with Stephen. I'm sure there will be some words passed.
Definitely.
I think Stephen probably just got so excited going into that corner and realized he had to get onto the brakes.
But I must say, suddenly Stephen upped his game. I checked, when was it? Yesterday on the V8s. I must say, he's suddenly there. So yeah, can't wait for Thursday.
Troy will hit the 9th place, then
Carter Boy 10.
we'll add Carter Boy here.
Ellie 11, 1 lap short.
Carl 10, and Ellie would be in 11th position. So we can return to lobby. So while the screen is loading, I can just update the current positions. And I would love to be a fly on the wall at the moment inside the inside the chat box. You can see those microphones are going ballistic. Okay, so that is done. So Brando's is back. Charlotte is still in. Just need to get Terry back in here. So Terry, if you are watching, we are bringing you back. Come on. There we go.
Dylan, I'm just here in the game chat.
Cool. So there we have it. Morris currently leading on 25 points with Jake second, Gerard, Christopher, Theo, Ross, Stephen, Memo, Troy, Carl, and then Ellie. let's just get the next car up. Is the McLaren. P1. And the next race we head to Snetterton 200.
I missed the first race.
Alright guys, that was quite interesting. Turn number 2. Perhaps you can just be a little bit more careful. And I do believe that luckily this is a racing game, because I'm sure the hand signals would have been flying furiously. So Stephen, I hope your lesson was learned.
Yeah, no. Look, I try to climb on the brakes. They just don't stop.
Fair enough. Alright guys, the next track and car have been loaded. Get those thumbs up if you're ready. Terry, do we have you back?
This one's a bit slower, isn't it, than the previous one?
This car's quicker.
No, it's faster.
This car's quicker.
No, this one,
Stephen.
it's very fast. I just
Yeah,
know I
no, it
just
was
know
my
I can
fault.
break it. It's fast.
I came in a lot faster than Chris. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Yes, I've never driven this car before.
Me neither.
It's
So
really
interesting.
You
You haven't got a
almost say
button.
that and then win the race.
very interesting. I kept saying,
Okay,
break
so
it
if you're on the
earlier
stream,
than
new
I
invite
think.
has been sent.
I think he was having a problem with his steering wheel. He needs to put his control off and come into the game with his steering wheel only.
Yeah.
That was me. My control's off now.
There we go.
Okay, so you're good to go. Okay,
no
let's do
license,
this.
no license on him.
on who?
That's it.
Let him load
On
up.
Terry.
Let him
There
load
you
up.
go.
Okay, it's
Okay,
fine.
Okay, he's loading.
It's
Okay.
fine.
Very good.
Okay,
Alright.
Terry is good. Right guys,
Alright.
please do not follow Stephen's example. Use the
Gee
brakes.
whiz. Gee whiz. Turned it
Right,
into
guys,
a Lotus
enjoy.
5.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jeez.
He's picked.
So Jacques, do you think they got the message to drive carefully?
Well, I hope so. We've been trying to do that for about a year and a half.
Yeah. There are times you just get a little bit over eager. Think that the guy in front of you is going to brake, and I'll brake just a little bit later to get around him. But that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, I think we can try as much as we want to. But yeah, there will always be an incident. So,
Yep.
the funny shaped track.
Yep. Guy with the man. And the funny thing is, I was actually watching some Snetterton 200 laps, or Christopher sliding that McLaren out there. Is that man actually does exist? It's the craziest thing.
Okay.
Well, that's confusing. Someone's going to get glitched out, I'm pretty sure.
Christopher is in a hurry.
Yep. Ross obviously realizing, oh, this is Christopher behind me. Let me just get out the way and do the same thing. No, that's actually Jake's that was behind him. Ross is in front of him. But, I must say, it is a very nice sounding car.
Yeah.
That's wide.
Yeah.
I think what happens, Shark, is you get so used to the downforce, you get so used to the grippy tires, that when you come and drive these road cars, is that you take for granted how quick they are. You also
Yeah.
take for granted how much grip they technically have, but because you're so used to the downforce, you don't really understand.
Christopher looks a little bit laggy.
That is such a terrible last corner. So there's Brando, one of the new guys that has joined us. Oh,
I must say, I was also impressed with his driving yesterday in the V8.
yeah, he was really bringing it to us, just in terms of those lap times.
Yeah.
Boy, how happy!
Yo,
Whoa! Oh!
I think that was probably Jake's hitting from the...
No, that. So on my screen it looked like Ellie. Or was it Jake's?
Yeah, I think it was Jake's. But I think the damage is off, so...
Yeah. What I
So
did is I
that's-
did make sure that it was just visual damage.
Okay.
Specifically for that reason.
Yeah.
You'll see on the brakes that rear spoiler leans forward.
Almost like an air brake.
Just because you got all that downforce in the brakes doesn't mean it's easy to stop. The guys are definitely out braking themselves. And currently no one being able to put a time up
No.
yet. Oh, there's Christopher White.
But I must say, it's really sounding nice. Yeah.
Would you mind just changing that camera? Let's jump on board with Christopher. So Ross is currently fastest, with Morris half a second behind him. Whoa!
You.
Telling you now, that's the problem with the downforce cars. So once again, I see that we are losing drivers.
Yeah.
We started off with 14.
Oh, no, that's lag.
That was a lag glitch there. We started off with 14, we're only down to 11. So definitely we are being plagued. Terry out once again.
280.
And this is what the guys are not understanding. The speed of this car
Yeah.
is really quick without any of the downforce that we used to in the GT cars.
Because the Janetta, what was it, a GT5?
Yeah.
I think got like 220 down the straight. You're doing 285 coming down here.
You can see Christopher a lot more cautious. This lap is really looking good. And Jakes and Morris. Well, there's Jakes, goes and finds another 0.8. He was 0.079 of a second down. And goes and bangs 0.8 of a second ahead of him. So ease that power on. See how that speed's just climbing
Yeah.
across the line. 107. I'm sure you'll be very happy with that. So that means Christopher found a whole nother second on Jake's time. So in shot.
Oh, Jake's.
Jake's losing the rear on that power. So he will retire into the pits. We'll just see Morris falls down because Gross goes quicker. There's Morris, he won't better his time. Theo, he'll stay in 6th place unless Eddie, Troy, Steven, Brandon still need to get on a lap time as well as Memo. sending us a message to say that, sorry guys, that he's out again, that he's not going to try come back in. We see we lost our Carter boy there as well. So Christopher will start off in poles, Jake second, Ross is third, Marius, then Gerard, Theo, Ellie, he improves, he moves up. Troy, he's in 8th place with Stephen 9th. Brando not able to get in lap, and nor is Memo. So I'm sure Christopher's going to be a lot happier that Stephen's a little bit further down the order.
Definitely.
Sorry,
But he's still got Ross behind him. So
yes, that is Ross, our Scottish international director behind him. Wait for those green lights. You'll see smoke. Whoa, I think Christopher jumped the start. Did he jump it? Don't think so.
yeah, doesn't look like it.
Otherwise we would have seen the drive-through penalty. Well, he definitely was wide coming into turn number 1. Jakes is going to have a look on the inside. Great maneuver there.
Yeah, outbraked himself there,
Ross
Jakes.
has a little, yep. Morris also outbraked himself, allowed Ross to get that position back, but Ross finding it difficult to put his power down. Jakes unfortunately not being able to get their car stopped in time. The tricky part, that's Ross. Ross is out of there, and they're extremely fortunate not to take anybody else with him. So now we have Gerard that's moved himself up into 4th. Ross down into 6th. Brandon, he's in 7th place with Memo in 9th and Stephen down in 10th. So he's had an absolute disaster. So race leader Christopher fixing his turn number 1. You can see how much counter steer he had to add into that. Now into Montreal, then straight back into the right-hander. You've got to be so careful. Let's see if Jake sorts out that power. Yes, he does. And Jake's having finished 2nd in the previous race, finds himself 2nd again behind Christopher. Christopher only finishing 4th, and then it's Marius down in 3rd, so the points are going to be pretty close at the end of this race if the positions stay as they are. That's
Oh,
Jakes
lost a position to Marius.
Oh yes, indeed. I wonder if that was a slowdown penalty. Did you see where it was? Because I was busy looking at the lap times.
It was just there by that chicane off from the back straight.
So perhaps a slowdown penalty, running himself a little bit wide. So we're now on a lap number 3, this one and 2 more to go. So that is Christopher, Marius, Jakes, Gerard, Troy, Ross. Who was that? I saw somebody running
Troy,
really wide there.
Yeah,
That's
Troy
There's
and
Ross in the background.
Ross as well.
Out braking himself. Whoa, that was close. So side by side. And unfortunately losing that position to Illy. Now through a Brundle, then into Nelson. Whoa, Illy's wide. He's going to have to go straight on. He might have to slow down there, otherwise he's going to get a time penalty added to his time. Vander goes around the outside through the bomb hole. That was brave. He did manage to hang on to that. That was incredible.
Oh, Jake's down to 5th.
So Jake's really not enjoying this car.
Yeah,
now,
I know.
beginning at lap number 4. But this is exactly why we do 5x5. It allows you to drive different cars, explore different tracks, and just get away from the normal racing classes that everybody seems to race. But that's what we have because they are the most competitive. And I think go. Jakes has actually got himself a slowdown penalty. That
Oh.
was Christopher wide. Marius is going to be closing up on him. Christopher has got one lap to hang on to this place to take the win here. It's all going to come down to this last corner. You get that straight line speed to win the race into turn 1. Oh, Christopher's
That's
pushing
wide.
extremely hard.
There
There's
goes Marius.
the drive
Oh.
from Marius. Oh no!
But he had a drive through then. That's bad luck. He definitely had a drive through
Yeah,
then.
so he did have the drive through. We didn't see it come up, but I did call it. So
Gerrit.
Gerrit is now the new race leader.
That mistake. That's
Oh
bad
my
luck for
goodness.
Marius.
And the surprise position is Troy in 3rd position. That is absolutely spectacular. Because I think this is the second race that Troy's actually raced with us officially.
Yeah.
Using a controller, and here he is in 3rd place.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah,
Troy.
maybe.
There's 2 more laps. Oh! That's Marius who made a mistake.
Yeah.
As you can see, 4 seconds between himself and Gerrit. But Troy just needs to calm down.
Maybe
Just
Troy will be
make
like the
sure-
new mini-me of Bruno, starting off with a control.
Definitely forced that car through there. But there you have it. So Gerrit will come home in 1st place. Marius will finish in 2nd. I think a huge miscommunication there between Marius and
Christopher.
Yep.
Jake's
that
in
is
5th
Troy.
or 4th. Okay, Jake's down in
3rd place. That's Christopher. Jake's in 4th. Let's just get that in. Brando, he will come home in 5th place with Ellie
6th.
in 6th. Memo will finish in
7th.
Christopher, disappointing 8th place for him. Ross will come home in 9th.
I just want to see if it's done, because it almost seems if Christopher might have quite a big penalty. Maybe he went with quite a... yeah, there he disconnects. Or he retired to the pits. I think he retired. Okay, few retired.
So that was Theo.
Yeah, Christopher probably DC'd.
Okay, well, let's go find out what happened.
Hey, nice Troy. On the podium.
Marius, bad luck vir jou daar met Christopher toe hy sy drive-through wil doen.
Ja, ek het nie geweet hy gaan in die pits in nie man. Toe jaag ek in sy gat vas.
Stap hom sommer in die pits.
Ja, toe kry hy 'n penalty.
Listen, I don't think
bad
Christopher
luck.
knew that he was going to do this.
No, he was going to go into the pits. I just didn't know he was going to go into the pit.
That thing's an absolute animal to drive.
Yeah, but that's amazing. Really, when this thing accelerates, you're holding on to that steering wheel. Goodness gracious.
I don't think Troy had any problems with that, guys.
Not,
Ja,
not
hy
at
het goed gedoen.
I just tried
Yeah,
keeping it on
man.
the track.
Podium.
Very
Yeah.
nice there, Troy. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Bruno se mini-me met 'n controller. So,
Oh, that was hard work.
Yeah, whew, that was quite exciting.
Yeah, from now on we can start relaxing. The cars is
Oh.
getting
I would
easier to
never
drive.
drive one of those cars.
What's the next one then?
Okay, guys, I'm just doing a quick update of the points here for you.
I think Joel, give bit of a head start on this one. Driving your Bentley, mate. Your beast. Oh, you're not racing, sorry.
Yeah, he's not racing. That's how I was just looking now. I was like, I don't see. Yeah. But yes, he would have one up on us.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
I think Marius also drives that Bentley.
Yeah, he does.
Job.
Yeah, but not on
Oh
default.
yeah, in a...
No.
In a...
No, it won't be on default. No.
No, definitely not on default.
On default, it's a different beast.
It must be.
It's
yeah.
just a beast.
Disaster box. Sean
Who's that?
box.
Disaster box, that's what's
Yeah,
right
Sean
now.
box.
Disaster.
Sean box, yeah.
Alright guys, so the current positions after a round of after 2 rounds is we have, let's start it. So JP, Andre and Terry still not being able to score. Kyle, you've got 6. There's Stephen 9. Brando, 11 points for you. Ellie, you're on 15. Theo and Ross with Memo, all 3 tied on 17 points. Then Christopher in 5th on
Come on,
21.
boys.
Troy, you're on 22 points in 4th place. Jake's 33. Cadot 40, a 5 behind Marius on 45.
Ooh.
Now we move on to the next track and we go to Donington National.
Uh-oh.
So Gerard is weg.
No, without the hairpin.
Waar's Gerard nou?
Noise.
Ek sien hy is sommer heeltemal offline.
Sure.
And the car we are racing is the Janetta.
Gerard disconnect or is...
Ja,
What's
ek het
going on?
alles as net afbeeld.
Oh.
Come on, there. Oh, this reminds me of the SARCO versus, what was it?
Yep. That's
That
it.
was a
Against
great.
OLT.
That was great.
That was a great
Oh.
race. I enjoyed that.
Remember, what was it? Sonoma when we finished like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was
That
brilliant.
is correct.
Yeah.
And the only reason
And
we didn't have a 6th place was because we had to he retired to pits.
Excuse.
Okay, as Gerard weer terug.
I don't know these guys either.
Ja, hy is nogal alright, is op die pad.
Ek het gehoor hy's nogal cool om te ry, lekker.
Baie lekker. Right. Gerard is terug.
Alright guys, is anybody clashing with anybody else?
Not that I can see.
Disaster.
Oh no, I'm
Donovan.
just Donovan.
And Donovan.
Yeah.
Nee, disaster
Disaster's
box is
just
fine.
come right.
Still.
Ja, hy is reg. Disaster box.
Okay, there's Donovan unfortunately disconnecting again. Shame man.
Ja.
Donovan will definitely get your line sorted out. Let's go.
Sterkte, Efraim.
What was that about the?
Not for you.
Jacques, we can even stay here. We don't even have to go into the chat party because they can't hear us now. I'll take that as he didn't hear that, so let's just go. There we go.
Well, I checked disaster box joined.
Yep, he did ask for the invite, which unfortunately we were still racing, but he is
Is
there
that
now.
the Sean van der Linden mos?
Yep, that is Sean who's now joined us.
And on one of my favorite tracks.
A track that I particularly don't really enjoy.
Oh well, I
Joking,
must
this
say,
is one of my favorites. They're
I
going
must say
down the
because
hill.
on Sunday you were looking quite impressive in the V8. So don't come with all these funny stories now, please.
Yeah, definitely. Where I was making a lot of my time is going down into turn number 4 at the old hairpin. Just my setup, oh man, I was able just to get that nose down, turn in and power out. Okay, so we have a race lineup of 12 drivers. So there's Morris currently winning the
Oh.
Call 5x5, but there he goes off. Remember, these guys will be driving on the harder tires, so it takes just a
Yeah.
few laps to get those tires up and running up to optimum temperature. But I honestly don't think that the guys will actually get them to optimum temperature in this practice or slash qualifying.
I even think this car can make quite a lacquer championship,
Yeah, I have to agree with you there.
but like on lacquer sprint tracks, I think it will be an awesome sprint track car.
So you'll be surprised is that we do have it for our BMW M1 series starting next week, Monday, that we will be racing here.
Yeah, the V8's also on this track, but just a longer version. So
Within the GP version. And I must say, going down the hill to turn number 11, that V8 does not like the braking there. Even on the downhill, front wheels locking up. So we have some times up. There's Scarrot going fastest in a 1:27. So that's
That's not
actually quite
too-
surprising, because that's a similar time to the V8.
okay, but that's okay, and at least with the V8 you've got still that extra back piece we're doing. So
You're correct. So it's
it's not.
almost, got that very wrong. So it shows you how much quicker the V8s are.
Yeah, because you did a 125 on Sunday afternoon.
What I did.
Let's hope it's quick enough for Thursday.
Let's hope that too.
Because the Ford man is working on a setup.
Oh, of course. Okay. Okay, now that's just put things into perspective. That looks a little bit better, because that's a
That, yeah,
130,
definitely, yeah.
a 140, so that's right. That's why I was so confused. There we go.
And Jake's in the
Jake's
popular Mamba colours.
Those Mamba colours, that's what we like to see.
Old Ephraim doing his team proud.
Still don't understand where you got the Ephraim from.
Usually
Morris
calls.
down in fifth place, Theo's in sixth, Christopher 0.8 behind Jake's.
Oh,
Brando, he's up
Marius.
into fifth now. Memo in eighth place ahead of Eddie. Let's see what Sean's able to do.
No, he still haven't put a lap.
He'll cross the line now. Let's see if he gets a lap in. No, maybe this will be his flying lap. And Stephen here too hasn't put in a lap. And Tabasco Troy.
Oh, was in the rear almost.
But definitely able to catch it there.
Jake's almost a second quicker than Christopher.
But I do think that those times will come down once the tires
Yeah.
start warming up. There we go. Point faster.
Yeah.
There Christopher goes even faster. 111.9. So Jake's found 0.3 on him.
Yeah.
And then he goes and finds another 1 second. So the track is definitely getting faster. Now that the guys' tires are heating up, getting more grip. Whoa. Bit sideways there for Brando coming out of turn number 7. Oh, that was turn 1. My apologies. Looked like turn 7 from that angle. We'll lock up into the old hairpin. And Ross, our
These
would you
guys
say one of
already.
our better wet condition drivers?
I think wet probably suits him better than he know when to brake on a dry track.
Oh goodness. Does Ross go quicker? Yes he does,
Yeah,
he goes second,
whoops,
0.2.
yeah.
So flat yes and all.
Yeah.
And there we
Yeah,
still
Jake's
have
down to
Christopher.
6. You.
And Jake's is committed back to the pits. So he
Yeah,
unfortunately
he's-
won't be going quicker. So Ross first. Sorry, Christopher first, Ross second. Well, no, here comes Jakes now.
No, but no, that's someone else. There must be another green car.
Keeping those number colours flying.
Yeah, it's actually sad all these guys disconnecting all the time.
Yep.
And it's actually all the new ones that's joining us now.
No, but I have spent some time with them to try and get these settings correct. I do think it's probably that fiber connection.
Yeah.
So let's just see. So Ellie will bring up the rear with Memo in 11th. Then we've got Sean, Troy, Brando, Theo, Jakes, Marius, Stephen. Top 3 is Gerard, Ross, and Christopher. So once again, we wait for the cars to do their sync. I do think this is time for Christopher to come back for a win. He's had some really quick qualifying, but just has not been able to convert those pole positions. Because this is 3 out of 3 for him. What, he'll be cautious off the line now? Yeah. Ross looking to go around the outside into turn 1. Ross going very wide.
Yeah, that's almost a big mistake.
Side by side.
Oh, even Chris, Gerard, yeah.
Whoa! Yeah, him and Gerard. I think we've lost somebody falling down the order. That was Stephen. There we go, Stephen now down to 12th. Ross down to 5th place. There's Troy, he too dropping down to 8th.
Down to 9th. Sean coming up to 8th.
So this is definitely my favourite part of the track. Now going back up the hill towards turn 8. Yeah, Coppers. The line apex. You literally have blind faith, put the power on, and make sure that the car doesn't understeer. But we've got some side-by-side action. Jakes on the inside of Gerard. Some flashing behind there for Morris. He's got the slipping advantage. But Jakes will lead that little battle into the last chicane. And I saw Marius drop down behind Gerard. And Ross is right behind there with Theo also putting in a challenge there. Well, Theo getting that rear a little bit sideways. You can see I just kicked as he got that power on. Down the hill, Jakes being very closely followed by Gerard. It's Ellie in the other green car. Whoa!
Another big one there on top.
So there's Brando being followed by, there's got Stephen in front of him, and just behind Brando is Troy.
I see him, Sean lost it somewhere. He was running 8, now down to 12 again.
That's Eddie, he's now dropping down. You see him moving out of the way, a little clip there from the back.
Let me just go there to the front runners. Okay.
Very close running onto that grass. But now Christopher starting to pull away from Jakes, who's also pulling away from Marius. And Ross
Marius
starting to get some
flashing there.
breathing space. Yeah.
So he's probably giving Jakes a warning, I'm coming for you.
Yeah. But we do like the little rivalries like that. And is that Ross once again with a slowdown penalty? You see the little black mark, red mark on his name.
Did Christopher perhaps get a slowdown? Jakes is closing.
Definitely did slow down because Christopher has lost 0.5 of a second. I love the way that car, you can see as soon as it turns in the way it just pitches on that corner. And then the front of the car gets very light as it goes up over the hill. So lap number 4, Christopher's in first with Jake second, then Marius, Ross, Theo, then Gerard, he's dropped down to 6th place with Steven second, battling with Brandon in 8th, then Sean in 9th with Ellie in 10th place, Memo in 11th with Troy down in 12th place. Moving back up the hill, turn number 7 and then up to turn number 8, my favorite corner. Just love this camera angle. You can see how this lifts in the turns. Like Christopher starting to pull a gap away from Jake's once again, and Jake's now pulling away from Marius. So the guys will only have one more lap to go. There's Memo moving up. He's now up into 9th place, and he's gone ahead of Ellie as well as Sean. Oh, that's a little bit too soon.
A short cut.
Yeah. Getting a slipstream advantage then into the last chicane. And here comes race leader Christopher on the final lap through turn number 7.
It's also quite a nice sounding car, like a screamer. It's going nice through the refrain.
Christopher bringing it in extremely cautiously into that last corner. You can see him losing 0.3 of a second on those brakes. But Christopher comes home in first position. Jakes will be second, Marius will be third. Then we'll have Theo in 4th place. Gerard in 5th. Ross not being able to get that over.
Brando taking 8th.
Ross in 7th. Brando in 8th. Memo comes around the last corner. He will come home in 9th place. With Ellie in 10th. And Troy down in 12th position. So we just need to confirm the classification, and Troy will just make it and not get disqualified.
Christopher, Jakes, Marius.
Just needed to check Ross in 7th because of his slowdown penalty, but yes, that is correct. So the points are correct. Just do a quick custom sort. There we have it. Sort by eye, then that is largest to smallest. Okay, let's go see what they have to say.
I know.
With the default setup.
No, it's not default anymore.
Het er die tires afgeblaas.
It's not far, yeah, it's not far off. Eh?
Ja, en die tijd afgebracht, ja.
So guys, that was definitely a lot more entertaining to watch. No real big disasters, just a few little clips here and there. But at least now we can get ready for my worst track ever.
I love this track.
Brandhatch.
The tricky track this.
Very
And
That's
one of
lekker.
I really. Turn 1 is the worst turn in the whole of motorsport.
I agree to that.
I think Dylan agrees with me.
No,
Especially
I
this game.
I
Especially
think-
this
I
game, you
think-
can't touch that inside curb. Because if you could drive that inside curb, it would be a different story.
Jesus,
I will say Red Bull.
reverse, are they?
I'll say Red Bull first corner.
I'll take the green one.
Red Bull ring, now that's nice corner. You can
That-
run up
Red
the
Bull
right.
is lekker.
Which green one?
That's
That
100 meter
number
braking
17
point,
is
just
my
clip the inside
library.
yellow piece.
The what? In which yellow piece? In the in
Turn
Austria?
1. Yeah.
Here. Okay, right.
Green number
Oh fuck.
choices. Where's the yellow one?
Oh no.
We are
No,
code
I don't-
coconuts.
Nee, die
Ross.
ander is op die endurance of op die Le Mans en die gele.
Yeah, this is the GT3 version. Not the endurance 24-hour version.
Nou wel. There's 8 cars and 21 drivers, so...
To be white and
everybody
green.
should take the same.
Everyone got the same color, then you cannot blame
We've got to change them slightly, so at least we know who we're looking at.
Well, we've got different numbers. I'm number 17.
Okay, guys, because I expect them to be a green, grey, yellow, all the way down. No, I'm joking. Okay, let's go.
Wasn't very funny, Dylan.
That's for me.
Grey against green.
So the commentating's definitely be a lot more difficult now, with the lack of liveries. That's, I didn't quite think that through when I chose that car, but I blame the Bentley for not having as many liveries as possible.
I don't think they have the biggest design team in
No, they
creating.
should call us, we can help them. Okay, so we have an update on the points. Let me just get this up on the screen. Okay, so the current positions are Marius leads with 60, then Jake's closing that gap only 7 points behind him with Carrot in 51. Then Christopher starting to move up the ranks there with 46. Theo, he's on 30. Ross is 6th. Then Troy, Memo, Eddie, Stephen, Brandon, Carl, Sean, Terry, JP, and Nolan, unfortunately, and not being able to get in this evening.
I think this is probably one of the best sounding V8s on this game.
And I have to agree with you there. And I definitely fell in love with this car, having been able to be at the 9 hours. When that Bentley comes past, I promise you, you feel it. It is absolutely incredible. getting it a little bit sideways through there. This is your GT3 car of choice, Sean. Correct in saying so.
Yeah, I must say I enjoy this. It's maybe not one of the quickest, but it's just actually a overall like a car for me, really. And especially the brakes. It's a heavy car, but the braking power on this.
See,
that was
had that
almost
sideways going down into turn 1.
You probably tried to hit the yellow mark on the inside.
No, I said it was in Austria, not in this track. Definitely fighting with this car.
Yeah.
That is definitely also one of the trickiest corners on this track. Definitely turn number 4, 30s. But then this one's also, you got to be braking. Then this one's pretty deceptive. And then coming down. Getting it lined up for turn number 7. Touch of the brakes there. So Morris currently quickest on a 138.7. So we'll see more guys putting up times that's across the line. A 126.2 for Christopher. Let's see who's that behind him. 128 for Ross. That's just over 2 seconds off the pace there. Gerard, 2 seconds off the pace. Steven,
1.3.
127, 1.3 seconds. That's a great effort there for Steven. There's Brando, he's 2.6 off. Now starting to fall down as Jake's putting the time. 0.7. Oh, someone in the background there losing it coming out of the turn number 2. So this is the 4th car of the 5 race this evening. The last one will have the Janetta LMP3, and that will be done on the Silverstone circuit. Now that's a track I enjoy.
I think we did it in the GTE.
Yep.
That's the first time I've driven that track, but yeah. I must say it's actually like a fast flowing track.
Just trying to see who Morris is catching up to here. But I know that the time is limited, so whoever's in front of him is probably going to want to be committing to his own lap, not necessarily wanting to give Morris right away.
I think it's probably Ross.
See, because on my screen it's saying that it's Theo. Now Morris is going to get an advantage of the slipstream, 0.01. There's Steven, he's in 3rd with Ross in 4th. Jakes is down in 5th place, he's pitted, so he's done. Brandon, he's in 6th. Gerard dropping down to 7th. Theo is in 8th. Troy in 9th. Eddie in 10th. Then Memo in 11th. And Sean in 12th position.
This just sounds amazing.
Yep. Through turn 7, using a lot of that curb. 50 meters, brake, down, 3rd gear, back on the power. Out through turn 8. Just before the road turning. Power back on, let the car drift out. We'll see if he can improve on his 125.4 and he'll cross the line and goes 0.9 seconds.
Was second quicker. But I see he's got a 1 grid place penalty for pit lane violation.
It's definitely not Christopher's.
Definitely not.
2 pit places, so that means Christopher starts on the second row, Morris and Steven, they're on the first row, and Christopher will start alongside Ross in 4th.
Danger man Ross.
Jakes is 5th. Brando, he will be in 6th, with Carrot 7th, Theo, Troy, Ellie, Memo, then Sean. So unfortunately the liveries not been kind to us, so there are only 3 liveries, but there are numbers on the side. We'll definitely just keep an eye on what's happening on the actual names themselves. So there's green lights.
Oh, not a hot start by Marius.
Just be cautious going down the hill. Only 2 touching like that. Little glance between Christopher and Marius.
It was Steven taking the lead. I thought it was Ross.
So that is Steven up front. Then Morris, he's in 2nd place with Christopher in 3rd, James 4th, then Harold, Brandon, Memo, Troy, Sean up places. Eddie, Ross has just dropped down to 11, 10, and Theo down into 12th place.
They probably touch each other, yeah.
So that would not have a rear wing, so Ross would be having an absolute nightmare with that car, should the damage still be on. But Steven is leading in the 88 with Morris right behind him. So is Christopher.
Morris running wide.
That's Christopher. We'll move to the inside. Will Jakes be able to close down and take an advantage here? So that's Jakes in 4th place. He's just behind Morris. Morris in the 17. Last corner. Steven starting to open a gap, I could say.
I don't know. I think he'd need to maybe.
Christopher's coming with a vengeance, but we'll see here into first corner. Steven will blow it. Don't go back on the track, Steven.
Yeah.
Now you can go. It's safe. So Steven is back down to 4th place. So
I think he probably watches
the pressure there.
Yeah, and he watches his rearview mirror. That's the problem.
Yep, 100%. So new positions. Christopher's race here with Morris 2nd, then Jake, Steven, Gerard, Brandon moving
Jake's
up to 6th.
Jake's losing it on a power slide there.
Big impact there. So Jake's has unfortunately taken somebody with him. I think it's Gerard. You can see Gerard dropping down. So that means Brandon, he's up into 5th place.
Memo in 4th.
Memo in 4th. That's a great result for him. And Steven back into 3rd. And that's the thing about this close racing, is that you're so close.
Jake's losing it again. Oh no, it's not Jake's. Who lost it there? Marius.
That was Marius.
Marius.
So positions once again changing, and that's because the guys are just racing so closely. One little mistake and then you go start falling down the water again.
The camera shaking as the car passes it.
Well, there's 2 cars side by side. So that was Gerard going around the outside of Sean. Sitting here watching these guys go into turn 1, and I just want to hold my breath. Ross having a look to the inside.
Oh.
That was very, very sneaky. Oh.
Yeah, another guy losing it there.
Whoa, 2 drivers going very deep. That is Sean and Theo side by side.
Oh.
Oof.
Come on, guys. Let's see. That's not nice.
So Ross now looking to load. We'll move back to our race leader.
Oh, he's got it.
They say Christopher was wide, but he wasn't. A little bit of a lag glitch there. Stephen in second, Brandon in third, Jakes is back into fourth with Memo now in fifth. Ross moving it back up the order into sixth. Brandon's got Jakes not on his heels. There's Memo keeping up with Jakes. It's a really good effort for Memo.
You're sideways.
Jakes is sideways. Will Memo get that place around him? Yes, he does. So Jakes will lose another place. It's Ross now moving back up the order. Very impressive effort there by Stephen. Stephen
lost
in second position. So Brandon, he's now up into third. But that was Jakes having lost it again. So Jakes down into fifth. Morris is in sixth. So in shot, Brandon, one of our new members that have decided to come racing with us. He's finding himself third.
Yeah, because it seems this beast is catching out a
Whoa,
couple
there
of
goes
our...
Memo. That was Memo spinning around. That's the right thing to do, Memo. Just wait for those cars to come past. So Memo down into 8th place. But what it tells me is that this car is definitely not just a quick arrive and drive in it. Is that it definitely takes some practice, some getting used to, possibly even a setup.
Definitely.
So in shot is Jakes, who's now back into 4th place. And he has Marius right behind him. 0.7 of a second. Currently in 8th place with Theo right behind him. There was a great looking exit there. Out of there's turn 4. Oh, I hate that corner. I really hate it.
I think Mimo is probably one of the drivers with the most patience. Never give up attitude.
That's because he definitely comes out just to have fun.
Yeah.
And if he comes last, he comes last, but all he wants to do is just be driving a car around the track.
Ross is Bentley. Oh, Memo losing it.
Memo losing the rear.
And Ross's car almost looks like a checkers trolley without a handle. So
that's exactly what it looks like.
That downforce wing is gone, so
so there we have the classification. So Christopher comes home in first. Amazing result there for Stephen, coming home in second. Brandon, he finds himself with some points in third. We then have Jakes recovering. He gets himself a fourth with Marius in fifth. Then Ellie, he gets some points in 6th place, and he finishes ahead of Ross, who's in 7th, with Theo in 8th. Gerard is 9th. Memo will come home in 10th place, with Troy down in 11th and Sean finishing off in 12th. So I definitely want to hear what some of the guys have to say about this car now. Let's go hear what they have to say.
We're South Africa. We used to be the British colony, okay? So we drive on the same side.
You drive on the left. You drive on the left, yeah.
Same side as you, yes.
So guys,
left
I'm
side of the
assuming
road.
that was not an easy race at all.
Not
No, not at all.
It was a cock race.
So what we've
Okay,
realized is that
coconut.
Bentley's definitely not an arrive and drive type of car.
But it's not too bad,
Oh, I
eh?
love
I
it.
enjoyed it.
No, I love it.
There wasn't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, an arrive and drive car. It's much better than the McLaren.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
So
even better
the
than a
brakes.
GT4, man.
That McLaren in a straight line speed is faster than this one. You do know that.
It's
eh?
phenomenal, yeah.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't
Yeah,
have
no, no.
brakes.
Yeah, no, zero brakes. They forgot to put brakes.
Zero chill. That car's gone.
So what is
Okay
the
guys,
last
so while
one?
I just prepare the tracks, I'm just getting up the
Ouch.
up
I
the
think my
updated
one.
points. And they look as follows.
Rock in first place. 100 points.
So we'll start off with, oh there's Gerard disconnecting, we'll start off with 12th place for Sean, then we have Memo 11th on 30. Troy and Eddie tied on 31 with Brando getting some points now. You're in 8th with 34. Followed right behind Ross, who's on 35 in 7th place, who is 3 points behind Theo with 38, who's 1 point behind Stephen in 5th place on 39. So there are 9 points separating position 5 to 11. Gerard is in 4th place with 58. Then we have Jakes with 66. Marius, you're in 1st place, tied with Christopher on 71. 5 points in it, guys. 5 points.
Yes.
Flat out.
And that's the way we want it to end.
Shake and
Alright.
bake. Let's go, boys.
What is the
Okay,
last
so
one?
the last track is probably going to be one of the funnest.
I know. Everybody goes oof.
The only way that could be better is if we drive the LMP3 cars.
Beautiful track. What
Yeah.
a awesome.
I've
think
never
we've got the
driven an
right cars.
LMP3 car. What?
Me neither.
Oh. Okay. Well, always a first time for this. Huh? See?
So the other P3 car only has 430 horsepower, but it has all the downforce you require.
Flat out.
Okay, hold on, we're losing some people here. I see Gerard, okay, here's Brando on his way back. And here's Gerard on his way back.
Hey, see wat alweer shallow car as jy, Jack.
No, wait, it's different, it's different. It's, wait, yeah, okay, no, it's not. Well, one's got a red stripe, one's got a yellow, yeah.
Yeah, but Jake's gonna be in front, I'm gonna be at the back, so it doesn't make a difference.
Alright guys, enjoy the last race.
Down.
Flat out.
Downforce.
Flat out.
I can't drive these cars are very difficult for me.
Nah, man, just suffer.
So Jacques, it's definitely nice to hear that the guys are still in high spirits even though they were spinning all over the place.
It seems they were in high spirits till we joined the lobby.
Ah!
There were some words between some of them, but yeah.
Lucky that this is a family show and we were in Code Coconuts.
I checked our list on the V8s are growing. Number of entries.
That they are, and Medal State will be opening those registrations on Wednesday morning to enter into the championship, so just make sure the guys who are racing have your profile ready on the medalstate.com website. So 5 points separate first and third. I think this is going to be a cracker.
Christopher is almost like an alpha buffalo, pushing to get to the front.
Well, 'cause what he wants is that clear track. I'm not surprised. So guys,
It's
if
like-
you are still on the stream and you are enjoying not necessarily the racing, because it has been quite tricky. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, give us a like. Say how's it, show us what's happening. And yeah, I'm actually a bit irritated about this whole coronavirus. I know how serious it is.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that at our F400 karting race is that we will be entering a SARCO invitational team, and that will be consisting of Rudy Base, Morris Jakes, Fatikaki, Sports. So once we're up and running again with F400, SARCO will be having its own F400 endurance series. You can go check out their website. It's just four-strokekarting.co.za. That's where we will be racing. So let me just make sure I have the right track up here. Whoa! Christopher is pushing that car.
The alpha male.
Alpha male, that was coming through. How I know it. That's the one we want. Yeah, so only Stevens managed to put on a lap, and that would literally be his out lap. And the reason he would have done that is that he would have started behind the start-finish line, crossed it, that would have timed his lap. So if nobody else is able to get a lap in, he will be on pole position. So the guys look like they literally have a one-lap flyer.
I think that will also be interesting in the V8s, the one-lap qualifiers again.
Yep. That would be a 20-minute qualifying session, and each driver will be called out to kind of do a one-lap fly. You get to do an out lap and then a fly. So that championship is going to be insane. It will be 8 laps, 8 races, and each race has been measured to be about 112 kilometers in distance. So it gives us about 40 minutes of racing time. Christopher is fastest with a 2-minute 0.9. Then it's Carrot. Theo. There's Jakes, 0.3 behind him. Carrot is third with Theo fourth. Then Troy in 5th place. He out-qualified Stephen and Ross. Marius 7 seconds behind the pace. He must have had a slowdown penalty.
Yeah. Well, it's all to play for. Tied
Yep.
with Christopher. So
It is going to be a cracker.
so let's see if he can handle his nerves tonight.
So this looks like Morris is still on a flyer.
It looks like it.
It's 90 seconds, a minute and a half to go. So the guys are actually getting 2 laps, and when there's 2 laps it means you're getting more into the tyres, you're able to go quicker. So Christopher just might be pipped. Ooh, Morris getting it very sideways. And here comes Christopher out of turn number 18. Last corner across the start finish line.
158.
He finds another 2 seconds on those tyres. I think Morris might be held up a little bit here.
Yeah.
He's going to have a lunge anyway. Ross finds the second on Christopher.
Marius.
There's Marius in second place. Jake's on the second row with Ross once again. Gerard, he's down there. Brandon, he's still on a lap. We don't know where he will finish, but he won't finish any higher than he is currently. So the starting lineup for the last race: Christopher, Morris, Ross on the podium in terms of the top 3 spots. Then Jake's in 4th, Gerard, Brandon, Theo, Troy, Memo, Stephen, then Sean and Ellie. Not being able to get a lap time in, I see. So 12 drivers on the grid. Little flash of the lights there. Thank you, Christopher, for saying how's it. So from here, Jacques, would you commit flat out through turn 1? Jacques, are you intentionally ignoring that question?
No. Not. I know Christopher will definitely go flat out through there.
Well, that's what he lives and dies by, right?
Yeah, but then again, Ross is in the second row, so yeah.
And Ross is behind Christopher once again.
Yeah.
Jump start, let's see. No jump starts.
Oh, Mario's got a
Christopher.
block on the...
Yeah, it was Christopher that blocked on the line. You can see Christopher's down to 4th, so
Yeah.
Morris is out in front with Jake 2nd. Then Ross, Christopher in 4th place. He's not going to be
Oh, there
happy
was someone goes off. Oh, Jake's.
Lock up there for Jake's. Hero's getting himself out of the way. Oh, great move there by Christopher on the inside of Ross. Now Ross is going to go side by side.
Oh, they touched.
So that was Ross. So he's back on the track.
Yeah, it seems Christopher DC'd.
Yes, so we have lost 2 drivers. Christopher's gone. There goes Jake spinning out.
Troy second.
So Troy in 2nd, Theo in 3rd place. Then it's Ross, Jakes, Memo, Stephen, Sean, Gerard, then Eddie.
Oh, Troy losing it.
Great camera shot there. Guys coming through 11, 12 and 13. Through Beckett's now onto Chapel turn number 14. Well, that car very unstable.
Yeah, Jake's here.
So Jakes now will lose out to Theo. Theo taking up on the inside, but Jakes will go around the outside. Into the Vale, turn 16 now, turn 17. Straighten the car out, then flat on the power, through last corner. So we have lost another driver. I just can't make out who it is yet. Let me just check the current points. So it is actually Brandon. He's gone with Ross, with Christopher. So very unlucky there for Brandon. So Brandon, if you have joined us on the stream, come and say how's it.
Fuse. Was that Gerard's car shorting some parts there?
Yeah, that is Gerard starting to look like a... I don't even know what that looks like. He's lost something on the rear as well as his entire front portion. He's lost front and rear. That car should not be on the road at the moment. Yeah, sorry Brandon, we just seen that he says that it was him that went with Christopher, so very unfortunate there. But thanks for coming to join us on the stream. So as it stands, Jacques Marius will win this little British Tour 5x5. Ross in second place, starting to do some ground on Marius. Jakes looks like he's got a time penalty, so obviously with him going off somewhere, he's committed, coming back on the track and has given him a penalty. So we'll have to just check that. Carrot in fourth, then Theo is in fifth. Troy was in second place, a small mistake that he had made going into turn number 2. He unfortunately dropping down to second. Stevens in seventh. There's Stephen and Troy now changing positions. Eddie is in 8th place with Mendel now in 10th position. The comment here we got from Brandon, he says he has a lot to learn. Brandon, this jumping from one car to the next, promise yourself like that in some of the other championships. So on Thursday when we kick off our Super V8s, we get to set up the car to your preference. And you get a lot more familiar with the cars, being able to push them a lot harder.
They must just also remember.
Ross is starting to close up on Marius there. He got himself 1.5 seconds. Yes.
I think the guys must just remember if they practice for the V8 just to have the proper weather settings on their lobbies, so you don't get surprised come first of the evening.
But that's the thing about racing, is that there is the unpredictable.
Well, Ross is definitely closing on him.
Yep. And if it gets just a little bit closer, just gets within that second, you will start getting that slipstream advantage. So I actually don't think I've driven an LMP3 around this track, so after this I'm definitely going to go and give it a go.
Our oldest member in SARCO, Opa Jakes.
Remember, you're talking about my teammate. So we won a lap number 4 or 5. We have one more lap after this.
Yeah, now
as
Ross
it currently stands, Ross is definitely closing up on Marius. But if Marius is starting to just feel that pressure, Ross driving what looks to be a Ferrari livery.
Yeah.
See that straight line advantage that he will be getting, so that time definitely is closing in that straight line.
Oh,
Marius is off. That was uncharacteristic.
Yeah.
He lost it going into Brooklands. That's not normally a place that you use it. So now if Jakes is able to close Marius down, Jakes will also end up winning this. Theo being heavily annoyed there by Stephen. So Stephen can find a way as they come through Maggots and Beckett's. That should be flat out. Little lift there. Let the car turn in on the brakes. Gear down into third, and I'll be back on the power. It looks like Stephen got a much better run.
Yeah.
So Stephen will move to the inside. Will it be close enough? Will they go side by side? Yes, they do. Theo concedes a place. Allows Stephen to go through. So Stephen now up into fifth, and Theo drops down into sixth position. And Morris really losing ground on Ross. So 5 points between Jakes and Marius. So if Marius does unfortunately drop down a place, the point system there is
almost Ross.
The points difference there is 5, and they would basically tie, but because Jakes would have had the higher last race position, Jakes would win.
Ross almost lost it at the same place.
There I see Jakes as he's added another 0.3 on this time, so he's falling down over there. Ooh, Ross very, very squirrely on the brakes there. That might give Marius the run on him. But I do think that Morris would be a little bit too far away to be able to make a charge into the last couple of corners. Unless Ross makes a mistake. Coming into turn number 15.
Well, Jakes is suddenly close.
So two more corners. I think it just looks close. Oh yes. So Ross flipping it over the line in true Ross style. So Ross will take the win there.
And here comes the crop.
It looks like a hot rod. That's what it looks like. One that's a leaf cut. So Ross will take a win, and Marius will finish in second place with Jakes third. That was Haddad in fourth position.
Few in fifth.
Is fifth.
Steven sixth.
Steven is sixth.
Memo
comes home in eighth place. No,
seventh.
Memo is
seventh.
Memo is seventh, and Eddie is eighth.
And Troy 9. And then disaster box.
So very unfortunate there for Christopher. Definitely losing out there. Making a huge comeback after having two disastrous races. tell them what's happened.
It was a handful. Jeez.
I love this.
Well done, Marius. Well done, Ross.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Christopher, was that a disconnect?
Yeah, I was clashing with Brando's kids, and even off the start, I was still in the loading menu, and then when it came onto the track, people were going past me. So
That's what happened.
So it was just a dead.
That's
I
a
was
bad
lagging.
luck.
Disconnected you before you even started.
pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Unfortunate, but anyway. Well done, gents. That was good. Had lots of
Yeah.
fun.
That was great
Oh,
fun.
that was fun.
Alright guys, thank you very much. That was really awesome. So
Yeah.
we can just have a look at the final positions. So Terry unfortunately disconnecting, not being able to join us. He will finish with our scoring. Carl will get 6. Sean, he will finish on 15 points with Brandon on 34. Also, he was moving up the order. Would have been nice to have seen him mixing it up again in the middle on 34. Troy, he comes home in 10th place, and Memo will finish ahead of Ellie in 8th place. Both drivers tying on 39, but with Memo having the highest position in the last race, he will move up into 8th. Theo and Steven, you guys both tie on 49 points, Theo having the higher position, so we'll finish in 6th. Ross, 60 points for you. Gerard and Christopher, you are both tied on 71. Jakes will finish 10 points clear of Morris, who wins it with 91.
Congratulations, Marius.
Ah,
So thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah,
guys
it was
who
fun.
joined us on the
That
stream, thank
was
you
fun.
so much. That was really cool.
Alright,
Don't forget
guys.
to check out Medal States. The championships for the V8s will be starting this Thursday. Entries will open on Wednesday, so please get those entries in. Until then, thanks for watching, yours.
Cheers.
Thank you, man.
Cheers.